happy crafters. I'm gonna do a video. It was requested to, let me start by saying, there are many videos on YouTube for how to put the Photo Folio 2 by Photo Play together, but I did kind of put it together a little bit different than what they did. So I was asked if I would do a video on how I put it together, so this is what I'm going to do. So this is what you're buying. You can get them either white or black. And this is the one that I did already that I do have posted on my channel, but I kind of have it here as a bit of a cheat sheet. But here are all of your pieces. So I went ahead and I put tape on all of my pieces. So you're going to have this pocket piece. And so you're going to want to put tape. If you open it up like this, you're going to put tape on the outside. And so you're going to put tape on all of your dinted sides. You'll see there, and I used white hoping that it would be better in the video. So you have a dinted side and then you have a bumpy side. You're going to put tape on all of the dinted sides. So if you want, you can pause the video here and tape up all of your pieces. You can tape on all of the dinted sides. So there, you can pause and get that done. Now welcome back, and we'll just set this piece aside. And then you have this big piece here. This is your cover, okay? So I'm going to just fold and burnish on the additional score lines that aren't done. And I apologize, I've got a heck of a mess on my desk. I've got a million projects on the go. Okay, so you're just gonna fold on both of those. Hopefully this video doesn't take too long. It actually comes together fairly quick. Okay, so there is your cover. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you have two different widths of spine. You want your big spine on your left, okay? That's how I put mine together. You can put it together, you know, like if you're left-handed, you can reverse it. But that's how I put mine together. So let's just set that aside for a second. So let me open up this one. Let's just do a quick flip through. So here is your book. So here's the pocket. Here are 2 pages. So what I did differently is I put these 2 pages on the spine of my album instead of flat on the back. So that's how you can see. And then when you fold it, it folds, and these don't get that curve that you'll find in a lot of when you don't have the proper spacing. And then we have, okay, so now I know what I'm doing. And then this is the other page, okay? So now I think I can get it together without looking at this book 110 times. Okay, so we're gonna take, these are your waterfall pieces. There are a whole bunch of pieces they're all right there, okay? So those are your waterfall pieces. This is going to be I'm gonna cut this in half, and it is going to be closures and the flap to your waterfall, sorry. And I think actually now when you buy the photo plays, I don't have them in my kit, but I think now when you buy them, they come with magnets, so you can add magnets. Then you have pockets. Then you're gonna have this square piece, okay? And you're gonna look at me and go, So you're gonna take and put this in your trimmer, and you're gonna line up this corner and this corner. And you're gonna cut it in half, and it's gonna make those 2 angle pockets. So I'm gonna run away and I'm gonna do that piece and this piece right now. I'm going to cut them in half, okay? I can't pause my videos. I don't know how to do it. So I apologize. You're not going to see me for a second, and you're just going to hear me yelling at the camera. So there's those 2. And then you're going to cut this one in half, and it looks like it'll be at 1 1/2. 1 1/2 is half of that piece. Whoopsie. So there, now we have all of our pieces. Hi, I'm back. Okay, so there you've got those. Okay, and then you've got another pocket, and you want to find, there's 3 pieces that are 5.5 roughly, because I don't think they're exact, by 7.5. Okay, so you're gonna find those 3 pieces, okay? There we are. And then the rest of them are just pockets and flaps that we're gonna add on. Okay, so you're gonna take that. Now you're gonna add one of these. Okay, so let's fold and taper. Taper. I always get those confused. Now I hope I'm not rushing through, because I always try to make these videos not as long as humanly possible. And I'm just gonna stand and make sure before I keep going that this is still recording. Yeah. Hopefully I'm in the camera. Okay, so we've got those folded and burnished. Okay, so you're gonna bring this back in. Okay, we have your spines. We're gonna work on this first spine here. So we're gonna take one of those pieces. I don't know where to put these, where they're better out of the way. Okay, so we'll take one of those pieces. I forgot to taper. You can taper all 3 right now if you want to. I'm just going to taper this one. So you're just going to go right from that edge and just a tiny little slice, just so that you can cover the construction when you put your pattern paper on it. Okay, so now you hold it like this and you're going to put it right on here. Now it looks like it's not quite as long as the folio. You're going to have a little space, and then you want to move it out from the spine. You've got your fold of the spine right here, and then just to the left of that you're going to put your flap, and you want to be just a tiny little bit out of the way. Now I am not very good at doing the peel the tape and then place. So I place and then I hold and then I peel the tape. So there we have that one. Okay. So now we're going to take the other one, another one. And you're going to place this one to the, let me just see if we want, now, okay, so remember how I said spacing? This is just me being a little bit anal with stuff. It's probably not that big a deal, but I find that it is. So depending on your spacing, if you put this one like this, like that, we're not gluing yet. And then if you put this one like this, there's not a lot of spacing here because this spine is smaller than the other spine, but they're in the exact same spot. Whereas if you put this one like this, and then this one like this on the other spine, you'll have more space between these 2 flaps so that you can add, if you wanted to add another flip of your own or something like that, you have a little bit more space. So that's what I do. The difference is when I put my flaps on, I put them on the spine. When Photo Play, in their instructions, they put them right here on the inside of your back cover. That's where they put them both. So when you line up all of your stuff, you have no space in there. So that's why I've put them on the spine. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to take my one that's tapered and I'm going to put it right close to that fold mark. I'm going to kind of center it because mine is not cut exactly. So I'm going to do that just like so. And I'm going to make sure that it's straight. I apologize if my head is in the way. Make sure that that's straight. And then I'm just going to kind of lift this up. Peel off my tape backing if I can get it. My fingernails are not cooperating. Like that. And then put it down and then you can burnish it. like so. Okay, so there you have kind of like flaps. Now we're going to take that last one and taper. Taper your corners. I like to work from the score line out. Okay, so now this one, you're going to add it. Now this is just, again, me being anal. When you put that pocket piece on here, you don't want this to be like this because there's going to be less space for folding. So that's why I turn it and I put it on this other spine. I turn it and so that it's edged, the cut edge of the flap is on the right side of the score line of your folio. So I'm just gonna, again, make sure that's centered. Flip it over. Find a spot that I can peel it. Oh, my apologies. Things are not going my way. Do you ever find that in videos, if you do videos, that things never go your way when you're on video? You can get it together in 2.2 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna have to bust out my... And of course, I don't want to lift my hands because I am not very good at positioning at all. I use a lot of undo. So there you go, you have that down. And there you are. There are your flaps. So those become your flaps, okay? Just like so. Now, we'll just move that out of the way. Get the garbage out of here. Okay. Bring that back. Okay, so if you feel, right, if you feel like you want to, okay, take your, and I don't do things in order, as you can tell. When I know where it goes, that's where I put it. So now I'm going to take those two corner pieces, okay? Those are, you're going to open it up so that you have the very back right here and everything else is laying flat, okay? You got these two flaps that you put on the spine. Those are all the way open. Hopefully this is making sense. So now I flip it over and you're going to miter that corner right off of there, cut right through the X, get that out of there, on both pieces, right through the X, okay, then you can fold them, burnish, make sure you're perfect. Okay, now you can see you have these little hooky things. You can just trim those off. Once you put your designer paper under there, they'll be, you won't see them. You don't have to, you just can cut them off level. There, that one, you can do that to both pieces. And then as I was saying, the folios are not cut exactly to size. So with some of them, I have to kind of trim off a corner because it doesn't quite fit. And you'll see when you're making your folio. Oopsie, not quite straight. I can't cut straight. Oh well. Okay, so now these are going to go right here on either side. See now on this, on the right hand side, you can see what I mean. Well, mine, I'm going to just trim off a tiny little bit because it's right on top of that score line. Now let's see what the left hand side looks like. The left hand side, you have lots of room. Now, as I can see, mine is not straight. But you know what? In paper crafting, nothing is normal. I was making a project yesterday and I was so mad because nothing was working in my favor. And I realized why. The paper, the whole package of paper was crooked. I had to cut and trim, so I'm going to try and do it like this. Switch them. Sometimes it works. This one is going to work a little bit better. So I'm just going to, because it overlaps, I'm just going to take a tiny little hair off that corner. It is not going to matter hardly at all. Take off that tiny little sliver like that. And then, like I said, I always hold it in place because I cannot stick and it would be messed up. So just do like so, and then do the same thing over here. Oopsie. There. And then add the other side. Make sure that it is fitting as well. See, now that side is a tiny little bit smaller. I don't have to cut anything off at all. Okay, so we'll just lift up on that one. Lift up on that one. And once you have a folio put together, you actually probably wouldn't need to buy them anymore, but it's way easier. You can make your own because they give you the dimensions. Okay, so there's those pieces right there. Okay, that's that piece. Okay, so now your next pieces, if you want to, depending on how you decorate, like if you want to put your pattern paper down and then put your waterfall down, you can do that. Or you can, because they are pretty much, let's just see here, let's find them. They are pretty much like from end to end. You don't have to, you can, you know, decide where you want to put them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, I'm going to put them all down. I'm going to fold and burnish on them all, and then I will, you don't have to taper because they don't go right to the edge, so your pattern paper will cover them all. So I'm just going to fold and burnish. I should have done that first as well, but you got to have time if you decide to go along with me to put your tape on or work along with me. It's probably different to work along with me because I feel like I'm just speedy when I'm doing a video. So now what I do is I turn my book upside down and I work upside down. So you're going to take your first piece, and I like to leave, you know, like that exact border. So I center it and then I leave about that amount of space at the top so that it's all the same. And then just make sure you have it kind of straight. And then peel your backing. Like so. Give it a burnish. Fold it up. And then you're going to take and you're going to put your next piece. And you're going to just kind of butt it up against that last one. And then just fold down and make sure, yep, they are perfect. So you're just going to butt that up and then do the same thing. Lift it up and pull your tape. Just make sure you're holding it down so that it doesn't move on you like mine just did. Or you can take this little piece. My tape is not working with me today. And fold it the other way so that you have something to grab. Okay, so you're going to do this and then line it up like that. White doesn't work so well for me with that light. And then you can pull it and you put it back. And then you do the same thing with all of the rest of your pieces. You just line them up with your other ones. I'm thinking they're all going to be just fine because they were cut professionally. And then lift. Hopefully it works. It's not going to work. This never works for me, and I don't want it to move like the last one. There we go. Burnish. This is probably what takes the most time is getting it to, well, I shouldn't say that. Your matting takes a good portion of your time, especially if you don't know exactly what you want to do. So there we go. Hold it, pull your tape. Nothing is working for me today. Oh, there we go. Granted, this wasn't planned today, so there you go, Sandra. That's for you. They might be a little, oh, they're not so bad. They're a little bit crooked, but hey, it's paper crafting. What can you do, right? So there we go. Last piece for the waterfall. There we go. Okay, so there's your waterfall. So now you can take one of these pieces, the ones that you cut in half, if you want. Like you can do however you like, but I like to do that. Find your center, like so. You could, if you were, I guess I shouldn't say I'm as anal as I say I am, because I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to hope that that's pretty much centered. Center this on your folio. Flip. Peel the tape if you can. Stick it down, and you're going to stick it right level with the bottom of your folio. Now, here's where I would put a magnet, but I haven't decided whether I want to put the magnet on top like this, or if I want to do something pretty here and have it kind of like that, because that kind of looks really cool too. So I'm gonna not put the magnet on quite yet. This is heavy. Okay, so there's those pieces, so you can close those up. Okay, now if you want to get that out of the way, or get your pocket here out of the way, I don't like to necessarily put this on right away, because this piece is kind of easier to decorate. You don't need to decorate here, but this piece is a little bit easier to decorate before you put it on your project. So I'm actually going to leave it off of my project, but what you're going to do is you're going to fold. Okay, so in, out, in, and burnish. Okay, and then you're gonna fold however's easiest. You're gonna fold, you have another score line there, so you're gonna fold and burnish. Okay, then again on the top you have another one as well, because this is a gusseted pocket. And burnish. Okay. And so you're going to put, I'm not going to put it together either because it's easier to put together open, like because then you can see, you can trace, you can everything else. But when you put it together, don't glue it down. You're going to kind of make sure that this gusset here is up and down, like right up and down. And then you're going to just put your pocket over close to the edge. It's just that easy. You just make sure, and then you put it over closer to the edge. Like I say, I'm gonna not put this on because then I can trace to get these same lines here when you add your stuff. And again, magnet here, magnet here. So we'll just set that out of the side, bring this back over, and we are going to add our pocket to the inside of your first flap that you added. So on your very front cover, you had that, not the piece that's on the spine, the piece that's right on that edge. You're going to take this piece and open it right up, and then you're going to find the largest pocket that you have. Okay, that's what goes there. So the largest piece, the largest pocket that you get in your kit. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to miter your corner. corners, sorry, both of them, right through your score line. Fold and burnish. Hopefully you're getting, I don't have a very big spot for my camera. Plus I zoomed in a little, hoping that it would help you see where the score lines and all that kind of stuff were. Okay, fold and burnish. So there you have your pocket. Make sure that nothing is overlapping. Okay, so then you're going to take this piece, open everything up so that you only have one flap here. One flap. Open everything up. So this piece is going to go, your opening is going to go to the right, and your fold, your score line is going to go to the left. And again, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to line that up, leaving just a tiny bit of space between your score line and where you put your pocket. It just helps in the folding when you fold your pockets over, or when you fold your flaps over. And then once you have it in the proper spot, you can just stick her down. Hopefully you're having fun and this is making sense so that you can go and find it again when you want to do the next one. Because I tell you, this, I really like this folio. I've had so much fun making it. I've done 2 of them now. This will be the 3rd. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, so I just got to make sure that I'm getting everything okay. So this piece right here, okay, so when you put that pocket down, you flip that one over, and then your other piece you're going to have here, you're going to take this big U-shaped pocket, and that piece is going to go right on the top there. Okay, and as you can probably understand, you can change the word pocket. If you want to put your corner pockets here and this pocket here, you can change kind of where they go. I like the way that is. So again, you're just going to miter your corners right through the X, right through the X, fold and burnish. And then just inspect and make sure that your nothing is interfering in your corners so that there's less bulk. Perfect. Okay, so bring that back in, and this is going to line up right exactly on that flap. So once you get it where you're happy, you just peel and stick. Peel, peel, and stick. Okay, there we go. Now I gotta find the little pocket. Okay, so you're gonna flip that one over. And then this piece is sitting down like that. So you got your right hand pocket. So you want this side. That's where your little pocket is going to go. Okay. I don't think I got that one quite good. I'm going to have to trim that one. So let's just trim that one right now. There we go. Okay, fold and burnish again. Okay, so there you have your pocket, and if you want to, you can open your folio up, but I'm okay with doing it like this. Okay, so just like that. That's exactly where I want it. Lined up perfectly. Figure out how to get the tape off. Get this side. Maybe it's because I didn't burnish my tape. Normally I do, but I was burnishing after, so So there you have it. There's your pocket. Your pocket, your Folio 2. Now this is where your pocket page is going to go. And you'll stick that whole thing right down. I guess I could put it on. I could put it together, and just for you, I will put it together and put it on. Okay, so let me get this garbage out of the way. A little bit. My cats are always trying to chew them. Little pieces. Okay, so now that you've done your folding and your burnishing, okay, so what I do is I just take a tiny little sliver like that, and then I fold it over so that I can make sure that it is straight. And then just kind of guide it with whatever you can guide it with before sticking it. Because like I say, I am anal. So just like that. And then I'm not happy with that. See, it is kind of a bit of a pain in the derriere. Okay, there, I'm happy. Got it stuck down there. You don't need a lot of, and then you just hold it kind of with your hands lined up there right along the edge. You want it right along the edge. Pull a little bit more. There. Then you can just kind of push it down. So there's one side. Okay, do the same thing for this side. Just kind of open it up, pull a little piece off. Okay, stick it in there. One side may stick better than the other side, depending on how you get her. Sorry, concentrating, not saying anything. Okay, stuck down. Then you can pull off the rest and just make sure you're aligned with the edge of your cardstock, and stick it down the rest of the way. Then you just take your bone folder or whatever you have and just kind of push in there and stick her down. So that's how you put that together. Okay, see, that'll cover. So then you can use your wet glue and stick it down on your, I always just kind of, I'm gonna fold that right over. And just, I always dry fit everything. It's just a me thing. I dry fit everything to make sure that it is right. And you should have a tiny little space along that. Like it'll be right up against, but it should be right along that gusset. So you can, I'm actually going to use, because I found, if I have any still, which apparently I do not, I'm going to use, I have been using the art glitter glue, but I'm going to use the Tombow glue because you have a little bit more time to move things around. So I'm going to use the Tombow glue, and you're going to glue right from edge to edge. And be careful because it will spit out everywhere. You don't need a lot. With the Tombow glue, a little is more. Okay, so there you have it. So I'm going to try not to get glue everywhere. And as I was saying, you have a little bit more time for adjusting with the Tombow glue here, making sure that everything is edge to edge and centered, and there you have it. So this one. Everything moved on me. So there you go. That is how it goes together. And then I'm just going to shove my ruler in there to stick it down. You can use whatever ruler, longer bone folder. Some people have long bone folders. I don't have a long bone folder. And then make sure it's dry before you, I hope that was in camera. I'm sorry if it wasn't. Just like that. And then if you have any goop sticking out. So there you have it. So there, okay, so this flap, you can use this other piece, okay, the other half, you can use as a closure for your whole folio, which is what I did with my Halloween one, or you can use ribbon. And then what I did is I used this piece as a closure for this first pocket in this one. So this piece right here, I trimmed it. I did a whole bunch of score lines and I trimmed it down to the length I needed. And then whatever the pocket was here, and then I only glued the 3 sides of this cut apart piece, and I just stuck it in there for the closure for that. So that's how you do that. So you just close it up, close this one, and there you have your folio. And it folds so much nicer, I find. Folds much nicer like that. So there you have your folio. I hope that is okay and is understandable for those of you who are new to folio making. These pre-made folios really do make it so much better. And also Photo Play has come out with, they're not out quite yet, but they will be, 2 more new ones. So I can't wait till I get my hands on those. So I hope you liked it, and I can't wait to see what you've made with it. Thanks for watching. Bye.